Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. First, I just want to say that I'm really excited to finally get my ArtSnacks box for March. And supposedly there's a special thing in here for their birthday. So we'll see what it is. But oh, there we go. Okay. So here's our little trusty card that tells us what's in here. There's a pencil case, a Copic marker, another Copic multi-liner marker. I don't know what Lyra Color Giants is. Okay, all right, cool. So, pencil case. Sorry, it's really loud and crinkly. This is pretty cool because I've been putting my stuff in like little plastic boxes, so this will be nice. It looks like there's 2 compartments. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And it's got its little logo on it. This is our little gift, our little sticker sheet. And that's cool. They had to have them special made, so it took some time for that to get there. So I will say too, I am not much of a marker illustrator. So if I illustrate anything, it's typically going to be like just a micron pen with some watercolors. So I don't know how to use Copic markers. Okay, so here we go. Color Giants. Okay, so this is what the Lyra is. Lyra Color Giants. Oversized, highly pigmented colored pencils. Okay, cool. They are pretty big, if you can see that there. So that's cool. I do work in colored pencils. Here's a Copic marker. It says Copic Chow, which I don't know what that means because I don't know much about Copics, but I do know that there's typically 2 ends to these illustrated markers, and lo and behold, there's our 2 ends. It says, I guess it says it has 2 durable nibs, but typically they do, but I don't know, maybe that's special for Copic. Refillable. I did not know that they were refillable. Okay, cool. So here's a multi-liner that came with it too. I'm assuming this is just for, yeah, it's the waterproof inking. And it's very thin. Like, see how teeny tiny that little nib is, which is good for very fine details. So that is my, that is my pack. And if you didn't see my video from last month, it was watercolor supplies, which is really cool because I do a lot of watercolor art. But this will be fun because I'm not, this is out of my element, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. And I got a Warheads. When I was in high school, I loved these things. I guess I have a penchant for pain or something because these are super sour. And they used to have really hot ones too. I don't know if they still exist, but yeah, these are super sour. So anyway, stay tuned for like the drawing, I guess, that comes out of these supplies. Okay, so we begin. I have a pencil sketch on this paper, but it's really hard to see because of the glare from the window. So this first couple seconds, I changed kind of how I arranged the lighting here. I don't have any fancy tools. I just have like my iPad and it's propped up to record. So maybe someday I'll have a better video equipment. But anyway, so this is a Copic marker / colored pencil type ArtSnacks box, which I don't I've never tried a Copic marker ever. And I can say though, I've tried markers. So I got the Dick Blick like basic marker set, which is supposed to be like Copics, but I've never actually had a Copic. So this is new for me. I was actually kind of surprised at how green the color came out relative to what the cap looked like. So I thought the cap was more indicative of the color, but it was, and I would have probably liked it better had it been that aqua color. But it's okay. I mean, I kind of did what I did with it. The it has two sides to it. There's a chisel side and then there's a brush side. And the brush side, from what I gather, is probably supposed to help you with the finer details, such as, getting, I don't know, you know what I mean, the finer details. But I had a hard time, like, even though I watercolor and I use brushes all the time, I use a variety of size brushes. So when I get like fine details, I usually have a much smaller brush. And then this particular brush is not that small. So I kind of struggled from going outside of my lines that I made. So I kind of had to fudge it and make it a little bit more like I meant to do that style. And like by adding some extra lines with the black marker. The black marker is great. I think it's got like a really nice thin line, and the ink goes down pretty well. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that. My neighbor's firing up like a lawnmower or something. I don't know what he's doing, but it's kind of loud in the room, so it's probably registering on the microphone. But anyway, so yeah, as far as the finer tips, I kind of struggled with the finer tip of the Copic, but I mean the color laid down nice, but I guess I'm not much of a marker person, so my concept for this drawing was basically just a vintage woman, and all you can see is her face, and you're gonna have like that blended shadow, but I had trouble kind of making a blended shadow, so I just kind of left it as more of a harder ish line. It's not really a hard line, but it's like right now it's a hard line, but later I kind of blended a little bit. But the colors that I got in here, green, blue, and red. Well, it wasn't really supposed to be green, but like, so 2 blues and a red. So my initial thought was to kind of just make the red lips pop, But as I was making this drawing, I decided, well, I can make richer shadows by combining the two colored pencil colors together. It didn't really make a purple, but it made it kind of pop out more. It's hard to describe, but I could only use the materials from this box, so I couldn't like get any blenders out or anything like that. So it's probably not as good as it could have been, but maybe I'll attempt to do something similar in the future. But yeah, so it's basically this vintage woman wearing a scarf. I don't know if you can tell that from the picture because I'm not the best artist. I don't know. I think I'm okay. But I gotta say, though, I'm not a huge fan of these colored pencils. So I found my arm was going numb pretty frequently when I was drawing. I don't know if it's because the thickness of the pencil and the way I had to hold my hand, and I don't know. I can't really explain it, but it was weird. But I don't own a pencil sharpener that can accommodate the size barrel of this pencil. So throughout this drawing, I was basically working with a blunt tip. So I did the best what I could with a blunt tip, but I could probably do better if I was able to sharpen it. So I actually ordered a sharpener on Amazon, which I can link in the description. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'll let you know what I think of it, maybe in a review video or something like that. But it's supposed to be able to accommodate all size pencils, so we'll see how it works. But anyway, I guess I didn't have a ton to say about this, I guess, other than like this really wasn't the box for me. I mean, I had fun doing this, but I guess maybe I don't have the skill range for the Copic markers. Maybe if I had a little bit more practice with them, I could get used to them. But I don't know. I'm kind of getting more into the watercolor niche right now, so it's a much different thing than markers. I'm not particularly thrilled with the pattern on her hat because I had a different idea about that. But I don't know. I mean, I guess that's coming out okay. I guess I'm not really satisfied with the layering on top of the Copic, and I know ArtSnacks released a video on how to use these materials, and I haven't watched it yet, so I guess I could have watched that and then gotten ideas on how to use these, but I don't know. I'm sure if you're familiar at all with colored pencils, you know how to shade them, blend them, and whatnot. I didn't have any kind of blender that I could use because you had to use like what you had. But I know with the lips, I laid down the red first and then put a little blue to make the shadows of like the corners of her mouth. And then I wanted the red to pop most, so I didn't want to use it too much as the base layer. So I used the blue as the base layer on the shadow on her face, and then used the red to kind of darken the shadow in the areas that I wanted to darken them. But the Copic marker, since I already made like that shadow across the face, I kind of hoped to make... I was kind of hoping that it would be a darker shadow because I kind of wanted it to match the one on her face, but I don't know. It was just kind of a concept that came into my head when I was watching a documentary on Jimi Hendrix. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Anyway, so I was going to go ahead and try some different styles in here, and I did some hatch marking on the scarf, and, just to see how layering the Copic marker looked. It was just a lot of experimentation on here, and I could probably refine this technique later on and maybe have more materials to do a better image. But yeah, so this is what I got though. I still love ArtSnacks. I think it's a great little concept. In fact, they should be billing me for my next one here soon, and that'll be exciting. But their last box was watercolors. Was that the last box? Yeah, the last box was watercolors, so I really liked that one. But can't say I'm a huge fan of Copic, but I'm going to hang on to it because I have some Prismacolor markers, and then I have the Dick Blick ones. And I think the Dick Blick one, I have a similar color already to this aqua color. So I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, so this is my challenge for March, and I am late getting it done because I procrastinated a lot, but it's finally done, and I will be posting this on my Instagram as well. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me also at Left Brain Liz. But yeah, so this is it. And I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I did enjoy making it despite the material limitations. If you're interested in any of the materials that I used to make this drawing, I will link them in the description below. If you are interested in subscribing to my channel, just click on my portrait on the right, and if you'd like to receive notifications when I post, just click on the bell. And next time I will be doing a watercolor storytime speed paint, so join me next time, and I will see you then. Bye!